The WNBA's actions to divert attention from Caitlin Clark's exceptional talents are foolish. Jason Locke, a prominent voice, is examining the questionable practices within the WNBA organization.
Caitlin Clark is clearly the most valuable player in the history of the WNBA. She's clearly the best rookie the WNBA has ever seen. She's clearly the rookie of the year in the WNBA halfway through. But now they want to point you to box score. And Angel Reese, she's making history.
The WNBA appears to be intentionally downplaying Caitlin's remarkable accomplishments in order to shift the spotlight towards other players. Some athletes, like Angel Reese and Banna Stewart, have criticized the coverage, arguing that the impressive viewership and sales figures are not solely due to Caitlin's efforts, but rather the collective work of past and present talented players. While their point is valid, it's deniable that Clin's name is closely associated with record-breaking events. Interestingly, the only top-viewed WNBA matchup that did not feature Caitlin was the Minnesota Lynx LS versus the New York Liberty game in late May, yet the league has not been emphasizing Caitlin's game-changing abilities. Furthermore, there was a notable incident between Caitlin and Angel Reese in one of their recent games. The heat of the basketball game, Isabel Harrison and Caitlin Clark were both vying for the ball. Although it appeared Caitlin may have tried to block the shot, she ended up hitting Caitlin's head instead. The officials called it a personal foul, but after reviewing the play, they upgraded it to a flagrant foul. While physical contact is common in basketball, some believe Caitlin's action crossed the line and was intentional. However, Caitlin maintains she did nothing wrong, and it was simply an accidental collision during the intense play.
Kind of in the flagrant. Did you feel like that?
The basketball play.
Yeah. Did you feel like that was the appropriate call or?
It's a basketball play. I can't control the refs. They affected the game obviously a lot tonight. So.
But it did look at it like you were calling.
I mean, I'm always going for the ball, but y'all gonna play that clip what 20 times before my.
Her post-match interview, it was evident that she felt the media's portrayal of Caitlin was unfair. Additionally, she had serious concerns about the referee's apparent bias towards Caitlin. One individual who was particularly outraged by Angel's blatant foul was Skip Biss, who went so far as to claim that it was not a basketball play and even labeled her as bitter. If a similar incident occurred in the NBA, it might have resulted in a suspension, but the WNBA took no disciplinary action, possibly shielding Angel at the expense of Caitlin. Another glaring example of this type of behavior was when Angel's teammate, Kennedy Carter, delivered a cheap shot at Caitlin.
Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter, they called it away from the ball.
After the incident, Kennedy declined to discuss the situation involving Caitlin. This event was so severe that prominent figures, such as Shannon Sharpe, publicly criticized NBA players their actions towards Caitlin.
Unbelievable. No one knows who had the record for 9 straight. No one cares. No one. Who has the record even in the NBA? Do we have any clue who's had the most consecutive double-doubles? It's a distinction. It's not a record. They're trying to draw a box score person.
In the NBA, players sometimes target each other, but it's in a more friendly manner. Many young rookies dream of dunking on LeBron James, as it would make for an amazing highlight reel. Similarly, when a new player joins the league, others may want to challenge them, but there's no real desire to harm or injure. This is why the reaction towards Caitlin in the women's game seems so unusual. Even if the officials aren't actively favoring Caitlin, the Fever's head coach, Christy Sides, has spoken out about what she perceives as unfair treatment towards the young star. Caitlin herself has echoed these sentiments, acknowledging that she faces increased physicality and that she's sometimes allowed to get away with things that other players wouldn't. Despite these challenges, Caitlin's resolve remains unshaken. The reigning league MVP, Breanna Stewart, was asked to address the concerns about Caitlin's treatment and the physicality she faces. The WNBA is undoubtedly the premier basketball league globally, with players renowned for their unparalleled athleticism and skill. As the top draft pick and leading Rookie of the Year contender, Clark faces heightened defensive scrutiny, which Stewart sees as a standard rite of passage in the league. Furthermore, the WNBA emphasis on obscure records, such as Angel Reese's recent double-double milestone, suggests a perceived bias in the leagues and recognition of its exceptional talent.
You claim you want the women's game to grow, and then you keep the most popular girl in women's basketball off the team. How do you grow internationally and domestically if you don't put her on the U.S. team? It just makes the most sense. Sometimes you have to say, hey guys, this is bigger than the game.
Caitlyn's exclusion from the women's basketball Olympic roster has caused quite a stir within the basketball community. The decision appears to be a calculated move by the sport's governing body to appease the established veteran players in the WNBA. These seasoned professionals, many of whom have represented their country with pride in previous Olympics, are understandably protective of their hard-earned positions on the national team. However, the ramifications of this controversial decision extend far beyond the locker room politics. Basketball, more than perhaps any other sport, has a long history of using the global platform of the Olympics to grow its fan base and cement its status as a truly phenomenon. The legendary 1992 Dream Team featuring Michael Jordan and other NBA superstars is a prime example of how the Olympic stage can be leveraged to propel the sport to heights of popularity worldwide. In excluding a rising star like Caitlyn, many believe the sport's governing organization is making a grave tactical error. Caitlyn's unique background and compelling personal story have the potential to captivate audiences around the world and inspire a new generation of young basketball enthusiasts. By denying her a spot on the roster, the powers that be may squandering a golden opportunity to further expand the sport's global reach and appeal. Even those who are not typically known for their insightful commentary on such matters, such as NBA veteran Paul Pierce, have voiced their concern over Caitlyn's exclusion. The fact that this controversial decision has managed to garner the criticism of notable figures within the basketball community suggests that there are significant underlying issues that the sport's leadership must address. Ultimately, the choice to omit Caitlyn from the women's basketball Olympic team appears to be a short-sighted move driven by politics and the desire to appease certain factions within the sport. However, the reverberations of this decision could have far-reaching consequences, both in terms of the team's performance and the sport's broader global impact. The basketball community and the world at large will be watching to see how this situation unfolds.
You know what they're doing here with all this double-double talk. The only time I talk about double-doubles when I'm at In-N-Out, okay? But the fact that they're doing this,
it's almost as if the powers that be in the world of women's professional basketball don't want the female athletes to truly thrive and receive the recognition they deserve. It's quite evident that Caitlyn, the highly touted and skilled rookie, is the true star who draws the audience and captivates the fans. The selection of the charismatic and talented Clark with the first overall pick in the prestigious WNBA draft this past year helped propel the event to record-breaking television ratings, showcasing the growing popularity and interest in the league. The 2024 edition of the WNBA draft shattered the previous viewership record, with an average of 2.45 million fans tuning in to watch the proceedings on ESPN, and a peak of 3.09 million viewers, a remarkable four-fold increase from the 2023 draft, which had averaged a respectable 572,000 viewers. In fact, the largest audience for a WNBA draft before the 2024 edition was in 2004, when the legendary Taurasi was drafted #1 overall, averaging a mere 61,000 viewers, highlighting the exponential growth in the league's popularity and exposure. However, it seems that the WN, for reasons that remain unclear, is now trying to create alternative narratives and shift the focus away from the undisputed star power of Caitlyn. Some believe the reason behind this strategic approach is to foster more competition and parity within the league, as everyone knows that Caitlyn is the front-runner for the prestigious Rookie of the Year award. By highlighting the accomplishments and potential of other talented players, such as the dynamic Angel, a different and perhaps more balanced story can be told, potentially capturing the attention and interest of a wider audience. This shift in narrative, while seemingly well-intentioned, raises questions about the league's commitment to promoting and celebrating its most talented and captivating players. The WNBA has doubtedly made strides in recent years, But the underlying sentiment that the powers that be may not want the women's game to truly thrive continues to linger, leaving fans and observers alike wondering about the league's true motivations and the direction it is headed.
It leads me to believe that there is an agenda to make sure that the CNC Shot Factory does not get that award.
Regardless of the WNBA's attempts to spread misinformation, everyone acknowledges that Caitlin is destined to become an all-time great. As for the Rookie of the Year debate, there is no debate. The former Iowa Hawkeye star made history by becoming the first WNBA rookie to record a triple-double. Furthermore, she became the first player in Fever franchise history to achieve this feat, setting the record for the triple-double. This, however, is not the only impressive accomplishment under her belt. Caitlin also became the fastest WNBA rookie to surpass 100 points and 50 assists, achieving this milestone in just 8 games. It is puzzling to see how the WNBA is treating Caitlin, as she is a threat in every aspect of the game. Even when her shot isn't falling, she can create plays, get her teammates involved, grab rebounds, and control the tempo of the game. Caitlin is not your typical one-dimensional basketball player, which is why she has taken the league by storm. For the season, she is now averaging 16.1 points, 6.0 rebounds, and 7. In the dynamic realm of women's basketball, a rising star has emerged, captivating audiences and commanding the attention of fans and analysts alike. The accolades have poured in for this exceptional athlete, as she has been selected to the coveted WNBA All-Star team, solidifying her status as of the league's elite. What's more, she has earned the distinction of garnering the most fan votes of any player in the league, a testament to the widespread admiration and support she has garnered from the passionate basketball community. This overwhelming adulation from the masses, however, has not come without its challenges. Some of her fellow WNBA athletes, seemingly unable to reconcile meteoric rise and unparalleled success, have unleashed a barrage of criticism, fueling a palpable sense of frustration within the player's ranks. As she continues to dazzle on the court, she has emerged as a beacon of inspiration for young, aspiring basketball players, serving as a shining example of what can be achieved through unwavering dedication, unparalleled skill, and an unrelenting drive to excel. Her journey has captivated the hearts and minds of fans from all corners of the globe, and her legacy is poised to leave an indelible mark on the game of women's basketball for years to come. Amidst the fanfare, Caitlin has expressed her disappointment, urging the focus to shift back to the on-court action rather than the sensational narratives.